It's worth more because I got an offer so quick. So you got an offer for someone to buy the thing you're trying to sell at the price you wanted for it, and you're upset about it. I think there's a good lesson for anybody looking to get into real estate or is in real estate. One of the things that I say about real estate is that, and like all business, I'm very unemotional. And so I'm very analytical. So I don't fall in love with anything. I don't fall in love with a car. I don't fall in love with a house. I don't fall in love with a building. If it's the right deal, it's the right deal. And then if I like it.
Fall in love with a woman, right? You don't want to make a dumb mistake.
I've done that one time. I'm not saying another word about that.
I've been married for 30 years. So
I've been married for 20. Oh God, I'm in trouble. 23 years. So
there you go.
Yeah, long time. But what I find about real estate and in this market, I think it's very important is, and we learned that lesson the hard way, my family and I, that you don't fall in love with it, and the right deal will be the house you end up in. And so often it's like, because we fell in love with 7 or 8 or 10 houses. I lost a house 10 days ago that was the absolute dream house for my wife and my mother-in-law who lives with us. And I just said, guys, we're going to try, but don't get too excited. I think that lesson for real estate people listening who don't have the experience that we do, is don't fall in love with it. And then the next one will be the right one. The one and ultimately the one that I signed on this morning is the dream house kind of scenario that we were looking for specifically down in that area after going through, like I said, 30 houses.
Yeah, we've looked at scores and scores of houses. I'm a trader also. I've been trading the market since I was a teenager. And there's a saying, you don't chase buses, right? If a stock runs away from you, find another one, right? We've had deals fall apart. We had a deal 6 years ago for a house. And the buyer screwed us. This is a house that had sat on the market for like 6 years. And we had a deal under the ask. And then all of a sudden, magically, somebody arrived to pay full ask when we were in contract. And then they said, well, you know what? We're not going to allow an inspection as is. So they purposely tanked the deal. There are a lot of unscrupulous operators out there. And my wife was very upset about it. But I said, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. If it's not this, there are a gazillion houses out there. You're exactly right. Don't even fall in like with it. Right. Yeah. Understand. And even this deal, contract signed, but this deal could still go sideways. Right. I just did the inspection yesterday. They got a 32-year-old furnace in this place. So I got to go up tomorrow with a furnace inspector. Are we going to break a deal over a furnace that might cost a couple grand? It's possible. I've seen crazier things happen. I don't know. So we'll see. Stick to your guns.
Your story is a great example of if we were giving advice to first-time buyers or people looking to invest in the market. The number one piece of advice I would give them, and I think I hear you saying the same thing, is don't fall in love. Got to stay just like you do with stocks. You have to stay. I always say it's just analytics for me. Does it make sense or not? And if it happened, great. I did everything I'm supposed to. It didn't happen. Fine. I'll go to the next one and repeat and repeat and repeat. And ultimately, I get to the right one. So that's a lesson, though, that's lost on so many because we want instant gratification. We know what we like. We're spending a ton of money, so we're nervous as hell about it. All of those things that those first-time home buyers and those first-time investors go through so many times are the downfall to investing, essentially, no matter what you're investing in, I suppose.
Well, you can flip the script. I wrote about this in my book. Before we bought the house the $1 million fixer-upper, we looked at another house that had been on the market for like 2 days, $1.5 million. We offered 10. We liked it. It wasn't perfect. It was on a busy road, but it was move-in ready. And so we offered 10% under the ask, which is perfectly reasonable, not an insulting lowball offer. And we got crickets. It's like, did we smell bad? So we moved on because we never heard anything back from them. And then a year later, I ran into that broker who was a different broker than the one that I actually bought the house with. I said, hey, whatever happened to that house? She said, well, it's been on the market for the entire year and the ask is actually below what you offered.
Right.
I'm like, what's up with that? He goes, well, here's what happened. You made an offer so close to ask so quickly that they thought they underpriced the house. Right. So instead of engaging you in negotiations, they said, oh, well, this must be a really hot commodity. It wasn't. We were the right buyer with young kids at the right time, willing to overlook the obvious flaws of the house because we were a motivated buyer. They did not pick that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to understand that, because if you're going to be a first-time buyer, you are at some point going to be a first-time seller, right? We sold our house, the one that we did the fixer-upper on. It wasn't even on the market. They offered us, and this is a multi-million-dollar house. They offered us $50,000 under the asking price. I went to the broker. I said, tell your buyer, if you offer me the asking price, I have no choice but to say yes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to diddle over a deal for 50 grand. Not to say that that's powder. I mean, it's money, but you're going to blow a deal over that. If you pay the ask, I have to say yes.
Right.
And you know what my wife said to me? She said, we priced it too low. And I said, you know what we did? We priced it perfectly.
Yes. You priced it correctly. And that is the thing, again, on the sell side, emotionally, to anybody listening to this, that you can also get caught up in. It's worth what it's worth. So you do your market analysis, you figure out where your pricing needs to be, you price the house, and if you get a full price offer, you got what you were asking for. But I think that that human nature tells us, as your story, it's worth more because I got an offer so quick. So you got an offer for someone to buy the thing you're trying to sell at the price you wanted for it, and you're upset about it.
Yeah, what's wrong with this picture?
Yes.
Did you really screw up?